Yo, 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 what is up? It is Corey Jagon Marco back with yet another episode of the DODCAST. It is season 5. This is episode 3, as we can see there. Yes, I pulled it up just to make damn sure that I wouldn't get it wrong. We've got to recap Railroad 2, and then we're going to do predictions for, what is it, Thunder, I think? Thunder, I believe? Yeah. Thunder for sure. It's definitely Thunder. Alright, so. Also, of course, as will now be the case week in and week out, we've got the world premiere of the Frag of the Week, War Within, continuing to work hard to get the Frag of the Weeks out in a timely manner every week as well. It's not been like down to the wire at any point in time. In this case, we only even waited this long because there was the break for the Super Bowl where no one was going to be playing. And then obviously there was one last gold match to be played on Saturday night. So it kind of worked out where we didn't really need to do a Dodcast immediately because there was going to be enough time. And then we could wait for the Bandits versus Chilled and Skilled game to get played so that anybody who wanted to submit from there would be able to. So yeah, really big kudos to War Within once again getting this shit done. He's ready to go always. Usually I'm the one who's I'll do the Dodcast one of these days. So that will be what we start off with. Then we'll recap Railroad 2. I can already see my stupid fucking Streamlabs lagging. I think it's because of fucking Discord, but it is what it is at this point. Alright, so let me get this open. Close all that. Oh shit, did I just close? No, okay. Pop this bad boy up. There we go. Get this open. Alright. Let's see here. So this is the Frag of the Week for Railroad 2. Which is what we will, again, be recapping. And then, next map, DOD Thunder. Just your usual reminder to submit to the Frag of the Week. War Within continues to work his ass off on it. And also Mutiny. Don't forget Mutiny. I know we just definitely had another clip submitted from a recent match, which we all saw it if you were watching the stream. It was a crazy, crazy clip. That was definitely submitted, which, man, that clip was nuts. So, alright, let's get on to Season 5, Week 2, Railroad 2, Frag of the Week, made by War Within. Let's go. Hopefully my mic sensitivity is fine, because I have it on non-push to talk right now. Later, J-Rod. I have no idea how loud this is, or if you can hear me still, but Jesus. Let me just say, when I heard this song start, my heart sank, because there's a Paramore song in the Thunder movie, and I thought that this just used it now. I almost died for a second there. Here's Sam dropping absolute bombs going train car. He had about 80 kills going train in that game. Absolute god. Probably the performance of the week. Looks like a mid-break. No-go Stark. Stark had a big game as well this week. Especially that half. I know it looks like he got a nade in 2 bars. Red Dog. Nice pre-fire on Poco. Oh, that's tough luck as the car underpass. You're thinking you might be able to get a freebie there, but that bar coming out of Dark Hall's ready for you. Nice run for Red Dog. Sorry, that will never change. Ooh, nice shot on aim tech. And Arg. Oh, this is Nicholson now. Oh, I think I casted this. I'm pretty sure I casted this live when it happened. Nice. Pretty sure he gets another one, too. Was it a no-scope? Nah. Ooh, later, Steve.
Look at this situation here.
Oh, I know what this is, too. Did he get a bunch of kills in this clip, maybe? And I only saw, like, the jumping double. That's 2.
Wants more. This is a tough spot to get someone out of, too. I don't think you can wall it. They gotta just
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is... Pretty much gotta nade a guy that's in that spot. Here it comes. Jumping double. Love that Kellen peak right there. 3-sided quarter. 1, 2. Nice. Gets the car as well. 4, 5. That's a tough shot to hit too on that double tap crouch peak. 6. Nice clip for 3-sided quarter. Caleb. Oh, I casted this too, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, definitely. 2, 3. A 90, whips it out. And then, for good measure. Oh man, poor Bo got headshotted by that nade to blow him up that far away from it. Ooh, this is a good song too. I wanted to use this in the 5.5 Men movie. Way back in the day. I didn't cast this car clip, but I was curious what happened. Okay, so it was 3 white steps kills covering the mid cap. That makes sense. You ain't getting up white on carp. And the cap out in a very close game. There's Sam again. As I said, maybe the performance of the week, pound for pound. Going train car and putting up the kills he did. Very rare. Here's Colin. Oh, poor Raven. Bill, I'm pretty sure I casted this clip too. I love it. I like the synergy between the cast and the frag of the week so far here. Wall the shit out of this guy, yep. Poor Toki, just trying to get away. 5. Was that 5 or 6? I think it's 5, and he hit a nice shot on his teammate after. Here's Stark. Again, he had a huge game. Looks like we got a kill counter here too. Let's see how many we get up to. 3. Man, when you got a bar putting up the kind of numbers Stark did this game, it's pretty tough to beat that. 4. For their lives. Give him the old fake grenade. 6. 7. 8. Ooh. Poor aim tech there. Insta headshot. 9. Jesus Christ. 10. 11. 11. That's quite a fucking streak. Oh, I know this too.
And now he's ready for another peek. In the meantime, Taylor's got 3 more kills. He's up to 31. He is ended there by 6. 6 for a hat trick, and it's good. He's swapping out to different weapons. What a run by 6.
And straight into the guy who just died of that no-scope as well. Little CK nade action. That's what, 2? Looks like 3, 4. Sean. Oh, poor Carp. Oh, poor Tom and Loft there too. Man. Nice. That's good shit. You probably got to say the clip of the week there is Stark with, what was it, 11? 11 kills in that streak. You know, that, or maybe William with that 4K pushing balcony. It's a tough call. An 11 kill streak is pretty tough to top. especially in a game your team wins like that too. Like that 11 kill streak probably had an extreme impact on them winning that game. Again, well done to War Within to be able to put this together in the time that he does with the quality that he does as well. I almost shit my pants at the beginning of this one, to be honest with you, though. When I heard that Paramore start, all my brain did was think, oh my god, it's Paramore. Like, I'm trying to use this song, and now I just waited. I should have put the Thunder movie out ages ago. My heart sank. Thankfully, it's not the one I was using, so we're okay for now. We're okay for now. This just means I need to work faster. Okay, so time to get into the recap. Let me see here. Get this all set up. All right. Where are we? There. We need this. Not that. As you can see, by the way, a little different. I had it set up with like a little bit more interesting when I was in Quebec. Now I'm back at my house for the DODCAST, and so it looks very boring in vanilla again. So if you're curious why it doesn't look the way it did in those preview windows, that's why. Alright, so Discord. Get these scores up. So, I mean, because of that too, I know Manor said like he's the only person who set it, but I'm sure other people too had difficult reading a lot of the screenshots, which is partially because I had it in like a little window, but also partially because some people's client scheme, it's just hard to read on certain maps and certain spots. So hopefully should be able to avoid that problem this time, just because it'll be fucking massive, like the size of what I'm looking at, rather than in a little window the way it was last week. Alright, so jumping on in. Where are we here? Some of these matches happened a while ago. That's Harrington. That's Railroad 2. Okay. Okay, that's M1 and Los Wick, Goose and 3H, Romario and Spicy, No-Go HRG, Clinic, Grey Hair Mafia, Bandits, Chilled. Alright, and then Over Thunder. Where are we here? There we go. Okay, so starting off, Saab versus Late Arrivals, as we can see. 577 to 55 win there for Saab. I know for Late Arrivals, they were missing, like, realistically, their two best players. You know, it's a tough thing to overcome, for sure, when you're missing, you know, Cass and Secretly. Like, those guys would have definitely made this score look more competitive. I think Saab still wins the game, but when you put two players that are that good in Casino and Secretly into this game, I think it looks a lot different. So this is first half, 282 to 26. Saab takes their Axis side. Insight, I know, had a crash or two, so that score is not reflective of his actual game. Azilla on the sniper rifle had a really nice game, 25 and 24 there on Allies, 22 and 26 for Nightmares. We had a dual Nightmare Car-Bar game here, which I didn't catch during the cast somehow. But Nightmares Car-Barred for Late Arrivals and Nightmare Car-Barred for Saab. So, again, the synergy is beautiful. So, yes, 22 on Nightmares with the bar, 21 apiece for Bow and Bullet. Bullet was rifling, and then Epion, 19. And on the Saab side of things, you had 35 on King Yo with that Stas. King Yo having a great start to the season here. Scotty with 32. I know how tough it is playing against Scotty going four-way. When he gets in a ticket, it's almost impossible to get him out of there. He's so good at holding that spot. And he put on a vintage Scotty performance with the car there going four-way. 29 on Toki, who continues a strong start to his season as well. 25 apiece for Manor and for Caleb going train. And then 23 for Nightmare on the car. I believe he had a big half on his Allied side, though. You know, Axis side, carring apartments. Nowadays, everybody pre-fires and can control their recoil, like, reasonably well. It is tough to retake apartments against bars under any circumstances. So, on to the next side. As we can see, Saab 295 to 29 for Late Arrivals there. Insight with 28. Nightmares with 28, Azilla with 25 once again on the sniper, Epion and Bow with 17, Bullet with 14, and then on the Sob side of things, there it is, Nightmare with the 40 bomb on the bar, as I just said. Barring apartments, man, like when you have a good game, it is so hard to deal with for anybody. Just how high the skill curve is now. Most people with the bars and apartments understand all the angles, all the nades, all the most likely spots that they need to pre-fire, etc., etc. It is a very, very important spot on this map, and having your bars put up numbers like that, it makes it much easier to win. So, second top frag behind Nightmare again. Toki just continuing on. He had 63 kills total for this week. Just coming out looking sharp to start the season. 31 on Caleb. He had throughout this day, because there was the Silver Cup finals as well, which Price is Right did win over 3H in a sweep. But Caleb had a really good day of games here. 31 on the Garand there going train. And then in the two maps that they played in the Silver Cup, I don't remember how many kills he had, but I'm pretty sure he had a good amount and definitely had some pretty ridiculous runs. Again, Scotty, 29 kills there, so what's that, 61 for him overall, 28 on Manor with the other bar, and 24 for King Yo. So, I mean, Sob, they're one of the best teams in Silver. They will be there come, late playoff time. It's a tough matchup for anybody. Late arrivals coming in, missing Casino and Secretly. I don't think they've even played their Harrington match yet. So I think this is actually Late Arrivals' first match as a team, missing their two best players. It's a tough draw. But it was good to get to see the players that they do have get out there and play, see what they had. Insight looked very good. I hadn't seen him play before. I think he's a Source player. And he looked quite good mechanically. Nightmares we've seen play before. He looked good. Azilla on the sniper rifle. He looked great. He looked like a natural sniper. No issues for him at all. So, going to be interesting to see late arrivals going forward. And, hopefully having Casino and Secretly be able to play both, whenever they play their next matches. So, good game to both teams there. Sob with another big W. Just continuing on their winning trend that they began last season. Obviously, I believe they lost the first match of the season to Spicy, right? Yes. Correct. I do believe. So, back to the next recap. I didn't get to cast this one. Let's go to Goose versus 3H. As you can see there, 345 to 99 for Goose Patrol. Pretty big shellacking there on Railroad 2. Is this first? That's second. This is first. Okay, so I did get to cast this game as well. So as you can see, 163 to 62, about a 100-point win. The score is a little bit deceptive. 3H was keeping it within striking distance for a while. Just eventually the levees broke on them, and the flood came through from PDX and from Hopper, who had a great Axis side. Just everybody on Goose had a good game here. So, starting off on their allied side for 3H, Piff had 29, Defrag with 25, Matt with 23, Cam with 22, 20 for Big Bird, and 19 for Steve. And on their Axis side for Goose, 35 on PDX, of course, 32 on Hopper, 27 for Crod, who is repping the Crod gun. That's always been good luck when I'm casting. If people put me in their name, they generally tend to drop some bombs. It's like the reverse caster curse. You just acknowledge the caster and you can't get cursed by it. 26 on Adam there, and then 15 for Nicholson, 12 for Zampolit. Axis side sniping, it can just be running into the grinder over and over again at times. I know that feeling. When it's just like, oh, I left sandbag spawn, and I died. Oh, I got up to the loft, and I died. I got up to loft again, I got naded. I went four-way to try to change it up, I got naded. It can be very fucking tough dealing with Axis side of this map. Win, lose, or draw, sometimes it just doesn't matter. Obviously, Allied Loft is preferred by snipers worldwide. I personally always liked Axis side sniping, but when it goes wrong for anybody. So, second half there, Allied side for Goose, 182 to 37. The big W there to finish it off, as you can see. Well, frag-wise, I think that's a little bit deceptive. I know Steve lagged out. I checked his score. I think he was like, I don't know. I think he had like 11 kills or something when he crashed. Not lagged out. He crashed. So like the frag total was a little bit closer, but it was still a pretty big difference there, separating them, obviously. So for 3H on their Axis side, 25 for Matt, 24 for Cam, 23 for Piff, 17 for Big Bird, 15 for Defrag, and that 12 on Steve, but it was more like 23 or 24. And then on the Goose side, for their Allied side, of course, PDX with 38, taking the top frag overall. No surprises there. 31 on Bromley, 30 on Nicholson, 28 for Hopper, 26 for Crod, 12 for Zampolet, who was going train. Just a dominant performance by Goose. Obviously, already a team that has, in the last 2 seasons, made it deep into the playoffs. Maybe not deep last season. I think they lost to Saab in a best of 3. But the season before that, was it that they made it to the finals, I think? Yeah. Season before that, pretty similar roster, made it to the finals. So you expect this team to win in general, but certainly with the addition of PDX, you add PDX to any team, they are instantly 80% better, so I expect that this team will just continue to win. Obviously we don't know how much longer PDX is going to be able to play consistently. I haven't heard from Brino about that in a little bit. I think he's supposed to go to Australia pretty soon, so it'll get a little bit tougher for them, but they're still a ridiculously good team. They're not just going to start losing without PDX. That just makes them win by a little more at this point. They look very good. Their heavy team in particular looks great. And a good heavy team with that kind of chemistry that they've shown is going to be tough for anybody to deal with. It's one of those things that it's in short order in this day and age in DOD. The rifles and the snipers are everywhere. The heavies that are able to really take control of a game individually even are few and far between. And then having a heavy duo like Crod and Hopper who play really, really well together, consistently putting up good frag totals, understanding how to play their routes and not just kind of running around aimlessly and getting frags, that makes it very, very difficult. And then you throw in everybody, they have a lot of guys who can play any fucking class too. So the versatility is a big factor. Because you never know who you're going to be missing. And having guys like Nicholson and Bromley who can play any class, so you can slot them in on a sniper, slot them in on a style, slot them in on a car, slot them in on a heavy, whatever you need, goes a long way. Obviously for 3H, missing Warchild and Nomis Austin here, that certainly makes a big difference. Austin looked like arguably the best sniper in Silver finishing off last season. He just was continuing to get more and more sharp as the season went on. So that's a huge, huge guy to be missing. And then Johnny has been maybe overall the most consistent player that 3H has had when he's playing in matches. He's usually good for about 30 kills, both halves, whenever he plays. So, this is... You can't look at this game and be like, wow, look at Goose. They just fucking rolled the shit out of 3H who won Silver last season. It's a different team. They're missing multiple players here. You have a guy who was crashing in that game. The score is not really the important thing here. It's more just Goose Patrol getting the win at all and continuing to look poised to make a deep run in the playoffs going forward now. So, going to be interesting to see how much longer PDX is able to consistently play. And then what happens after that, what the lineup's going to look like with the rifles and the sniper when they don't have him. Or if he just keeps playing when he's in Australia, he'll have 210 or something ping. I absolutely could see Brino just saying, fuck it, I'm going to play. So, big win for Goose there. Obviously, tough situation for 3H having to play down 2 very important starters. But, Goose Patrol looks very strong right now. Here we have M1 versus Loswick. This did end up a close game. 182 to 121 for M1, getting the W there. I did not get to cast this game, unfortunately. I believe it ended up being played right at the same time as another cast, and I was like, fuck. Either that or it ended up being played slightly staggered, so I could have maybe cast one half of it or something. So, first half, M1 Allied side, 143 to 25. They take it. On the Low Swick side of things, 29 on Empy. Good to see Empy back playing. I know I said it to him when he was in the Twitch chat and in the YouTube comments. Like, this is a guy who's been in the game forever, hasn't been around since KTP was there, comes back, immediately makes an impact with 29, top fragging for Low Swick there on their Axis side. 23 for Poco, 23 for Manga, 22 for Jiraiya. 21 for Ryan, and 17 for Jiraiya Jr. And then on the M1 side of things, you had 35 on Red Dog, who we just saw in the frag of the week, putting up a bunch of kills there. Same with 3-sided quarter, who had 33. We saw clips out of them on this half, both of them, in that frag of the week. 27 on Dustin, like exactly what you expect. 30 kills from him, sniping. 19 from Pizza Hut, 19 from Meep, and Alapex with 22. I did that out of order because for some reason I felt like I read that already. But no, it was 35, 33, 27, and then Alapex is 22, 19 apiece for Meep and Pizza. And then in the second half, Axis side for M1, Allies for Low Swick. Low Swick did win this half, 96 to 39. Can't get an accurate frag total there because it's 5 on 6 when the screenshot was taken. So it might have been like literally dead even in the frags when all was said and done there. But for Low Swick, Mango with 28, 24 on Jiraiya Jr., 22 on Jiraiya Sr., 22 on Ryan, 19 on Poco, and no MP for that end round screenshot, so I'm not sure what his kill total ended up being. I'm sure he ended up with, 20 to 30, maybe even more than 30 kills on his allied side too. And then on the M1 side, 23 for Red Dog, 21 for Quarter, 20 for Dustin, 20 for Aloe, 19 apiece for Pizza Hut and Meep. And more importantly than all that, M1 gets the win. Again, this is a team that has good players and a lot of experience on it. It's gonna be fun to just watch them, keep progressing. I haven't got to cast one of their games yet, so hopefully on Thunder I'll get to. We'll see who they're playing, obviously, later on. But yeah, same with Low Swick. Like, I expect both of these teams are going to look much sharper come playoff time when the split happens, too. I'm not sure. I assume they're doing the split again this season. I guess I'm not positive about that. But I'm assuming they're going to do a split when all is said and done in the Silver playoffs. And, these guys will just keep getting sharper and sharper. Outside of Meep, who obviously is a newer player, these are all players with a boatload of DOD experience on the M1 side of things, and gonna be fun to watch going forward for sure. So, moving on to the next one. This one I'll do last because that was generally considered to be the match of the week. I actually haven't seen if Alapex ended up putting up the delay cast for this or not because I really wanted to watch that. But No-Go versus HRG, 222 to 91. No-Go with the dub. Continuing their winning ways. They look good, man. They look good this season. I'm not sure which half was first or second, but we'll just start off here. So on the Allied side for No-Go, 156 to 35. They take that half. For HRG, of course, Illusion with 38. You know what you're going to get out of Illusion and Aim Tech. They're both going to get about 75 to 80 kills every game in total. No different here. And, right on cue, Aim Tech with 33 as well. 27 on ARG, 20 on Head Like a Hole, 15 on Pipes, and 8 for G. And on the other side, as I referenced earlier while we were watching the frag of the week, there's Stark with 47 kills with the bar. Sweet Jesus. War Within, 31 and 17 on the sniper. 29 for Deidro on a rifle. 23 for Greg on the other bar. 22 for Trance getting to play again. Love to see that. And then 10 for Matthew on the carbine. I assume going train. One of those things. Moving on to the second half. What do we got here? 66 to 56. So a better half here for HRG, keeping it within 10 points. Obviously, they still lose this half in overall, but something to take with you coming out of a tough loss. So HRG, again, Illusions, 37. So he had 75 in total, and looks like Max had, 76? 76. So yeah, as I said, about 75 to 80 kills you expect to get out of both of them every game. There they are. 43 for aim tech, 37 for illusion, crazy. 28 for ARG, 21 for Nick, 19 for pipes, and 12 for G. And on the no-go side, wow, Greg, man. Greg with an STG, 37 kills. He always has these crazy STG halves. Like, it's actually insane how often he will outfrag his bar half with the STG. That's pretty fucking crazy. 37 for him, 36 for Matthew on the car, 27 for Stark, so another good half there, 27 and 14, put up 74 kills total heavying. Looks like 25 apiece for Dedro on a Stas and Trance on a car. And then 21 for War Within. Again, the Axis side sniper, it can just be such a tough fucking thing to deal with. It also can really depend on what's going on in apartments, certainly. Like sometimes you just get in a loft and like they have balcony and they're on white steps and they're in loft and there's just shit like being shot at you through the wall over and over again. But again, HRG, they have a couple of guys who aren't natural 1.3 players. Obviously, Illusion and Aim Tech are fragging their tits off right now. Just every single match they're dropping bombs. It's just a matter of the rest of the team kind of like slowly getting into the swing of things, finding their groove, and I think they will be much, much better off going forward. It really is all it comes down to. Just getting some secondary frags coming from the rest of the squad there. Once they can do that, like, it gets real scary having to deal with a duo like Illusion and Aim Tech. It is very easy to lose a game to two guys, like if they put up enough frags. It's just a matter of if the rest of the team, in support of those big numbers, can do their job. It's not important that they go put up 30 to 40 kills themselves at all. It's really just a matter of understanding their role on the team and being able to apply that onto their routes, with their nades in particular as support players. Like, that is very, very important and something I think is underrated. There's obviously, like, the best players are all good with nades, but what I think flies under the radar a little bit is the players who you don't see putting up the 80 kills and how important their nades are, because a lot of times when PDX, Toxinator, Teemo, CK, these guys are dead in a double cap situation, you're going to just jump on that mid cap and hope that, like, whoever else is there isn't going to nail their nade. You see it out of someone like Taylor. Like, it doesn't matter how many kills Taylor gets in any given half, his impact is going to be massive because he will nail every nade he throws no matter what. And he will play his route and play it smart and make sure not to just be like giving up freebies or like running off route to try to get a couple extra kills and get into a groove. Like, those are the players and the qualities of a player that I think they really fly under the radar still in DOD after all this time, but that can be the difference between like a good team and a great team, is those support players, regardless of how many kills they get and the way that they are able to nade and control their route on any given map. So, again though, big win for No-Go. They are now 2-0. 780 points for, 226 points against. I've said it multiple times, I really like the makeup of their team. The pickups that they got. We haven't even seen, like, technically their biggest pickup play yet in Tony. A gold player. They have lineups, and quite a few of them that they can put together that can beat anybody in silver. So it looks like we're going to see a return to No-Go form this season out of these guys, which is cool, No-Go's been around forever. You love to see him succeed. And, it's going to be interesting to see what their lineups look like. If Tony is going to be playing, I actually have no idea if he plans on playing at all, or if he plans on playing regularly, or what the case may be. So we'll have to see what goes on with that. But even absent Tony, like, they have a lot of good players on that roster now, and the ability to mix and match some lineups that are very potentially scary for anybody. So good work to No-Go there. Moving on to the final, I believe, right? Match in silver, yes. Yes. So this one, general consensus match of the week. I didn't get to cast it. It was at the same time as the 3H versus Goose game, and I hadn't got to cast either of those teams yet. So I took this one. Not this one. I took the 3H Goose game in lieu of this one because I had casted both Romario and Spicy already, and I wanted to try to get a look at everybody as quickly as possible. immediately. As you can see, though, as advertised, 124 to 114, man. Always just crazy games with these teams. I don't understand it. They always have, like, I don't even just mean like against each other, just in general. The games, whoever Spicy's playing, whoever Romario's playing, it's always fun to watch. Like I said, I'd love to know if Alapex ever uploaded that delayed stream because I really wanted to watch this game. It was a bummer to not get to cast it live myself, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You gotta watch everybody. You can't just watch the same teams over and over. So, not sure what the order of halves were here, but starting off with what the first half that was listed was 92 to 17 for Spicy on their allied side. Frag total wise, it was 6 kills apart in favor of Spicy in this case. So for Spicy on this half, you had... Oh, yes, that's the other thing, too. Spicy was missing Dillard, which certainly is always tough. You can see Mike Lynx got in there, put up 30 on his allied side. Really good allied half. But, you know, it's one of those things, like, however many kills the like Lynx in this case, or whoever gets to play when you're missing a guy like Dillard, however many kills they get, it might not necessarily, like, really tell the whole tale. Because a guy like Luke, man, he's just such like a game-breaking kind of player who makes clutch plays, goes off on nutty streaks all the time. Like, he makes such a big difference with his multi-frag runs that he goes on. Lynx did a great job filling in here, obviously, and that's probably a reason that this game didn't end up being like a little further apart when you're missing a guy that is as big a difference maker as Luke. But yeah, so 30 for Lynx, 27 for Stealth, 26 on Stamp, 25 on Matt, 17 on Laura, 13 on Ryan going Train. And then on the other side of things, 31 for LZL. I do believe LZL ended up top fragging this game for Romario, as we've talked about before. Their lineup is as deep as it gets, man. Like, they can have anyone top frag any given map. 27 for Man on the sniper rifle. There's a nice axis side sniper. 24 for Bud. 22 for Rafinha. 20 for BLK. And 8 and 6 for Matt going Train. Obviously, gotta be. And then in the other half here, okay, so 107 to 22 for Romario on their allied side. Frag total looks like it was 180 to 109, I think. That's kind of blending in for me with that wall. Yeah, it looks like 180 to 109. Okay, so Kevin, 28 kills on the Axis side, 21 apiece for Laura and Matt, 18 for Jared, 14 for Mike, 7 for Ryan. And then on the Romario side of things, yep, there it is. LZL with the top frag, 37 on the Garand there. His Garand halves are always nuts. 34 for Man, just a really good sniper game for him overall. 33 for Bud on the bar, 33 and 15. Just a ridiculous half. 29 for Rafinha, 24 for BLK, and 23 for Matt. You know, like, as I said, you can't read 100% into it when any team is missing a starter. Lynx did a great job filling in, you know, like, better than you can really ask ever, filling in the shoes of a player who makes the kind of impact that Luke does. But, you know, a 10-point victory here for Romario, ridiculously close game. You know, nothing for Spicy to be down on themselves about at all. You know, still early in the season, obviously, in that regard. But, like, also, when you're missing a starter of any sort, it is tough to overcome. In particular, one like Dillard, who is just ridiculous and has been playing really, really well starting off this KTP season, like, even more so than normal. So, you know, on any given other day, this could have gone in the other direction by who knows how many points. Romario, 2-0 now, looking great with this lineup. Scary, I would say. You know, like, just Bud, I think, was kind of like the perfect addition here. No Vanicky anymore for Romario, but Bud filling in those shoes, both on the scoreboard and in the, you know, veteran experience and play style and everything. I think that was, you know, just perfection for what Romario needed to be able to take that next step forward and go on and try to win a championship this season. So, going to be fun to watch them keep playing moving forward. You know, anyone who's 2-0 right now has a chance to go for the rare undefeated season. But do not think that this match matters anything in the grand scheme of things for Spicy. Every season, Spicy ends up in the finals. And I don't expect that this season will be any different, you know? When it comes down to it, when the playoffs come, they are one of the 2 teams to beat always. So, like, regardless of this match, Romario needs to make sure that when the time comes that they draw each other again, they don't just look back on this game and go, well, we beat them on Railroad 2, so whatever. They're going to have to be ready for a very, very tough, close, scary game against them when the time comes in the future. 100%. I guarantee it. So, still, big win for Romario there. 2-0 for them. They are one of the very few 2-0 teams in DOD right now. You got Goose, you got Romario, and you got Nogo. That's it. Across either division. That's it. And who knows? We could see the first 0 undefeated team season across all of KTP this time around. Honestly, it is entirely possible. So that will be interesting to see going forward. Definitely a story worth keeping an eye on. Sorry, I just fucking bashed my microphone like an idiot. So moving on to gold now. I'll start off with our match. So Thunder 356 to 76 for over. So was this first half or second? I think we played Axis side first. Yeah, we played Axis side first. So Axis side here, we won 197 to 52. As you can see, the lineups here. So Caffrey heavied with Kum. Saka, I think he Garand Untered. And then I think Kum actually car barred. So I think Axis side, Kum had a car and Travis had a car. Devin sniped. Saka had an Unter. Mata had a Stas. Caffrey had an STG. So that was how the class shakeup was there. On our side, I sniped Brian and Tox on the cars, Jules and Ryan on the heavies, and J-Rod on the Stas. Looking at the frags, 34 for Caffrey. His allied side in this game was nuts, man. He was getting like 4 kills at a time over and over again. I was kind of hoping he'd submit to frags of the week because I know he had some clips in that game against us, without a doubt. 24 for Devin. He too had some fucking clips in that game. Especially on Axis, there was one that was nuts. I didn't fully understand what happened until I watched Nine's cast of the game, because they just happened so fucking fast. It was really fast. 3 kills up in the Axis loft with a sniper and a car. He's ridiculous. Travis with 21, 19 on Mata, 15 on Kum, 13 on Saka. On our side, it was Tox with 31 on the car. I had 29 on the sniper, 28 apiece for Jules and J-Rod, and 23 apiece for Brian and Ryan. And then second half, we were on allies here, 159 to 24. On the over side of things, as I said, Devin, 37 kills, sniping Axis side in a game his team loses. Like, he was just a ridiculous performance sniping Axis side in that situation. He's just crazy. Devin is crazy. Lots of 3+ kill streaks that he had in very, very quick fashion. 29 on Kum, 22 on Caffrey, 20 on Saka, 16 on Travis, 9 for Mata. And then on our side, Ryan had 35 on a bar. J-Rod had 30 on a Garand. Me and Tox both had 28. And then Brian and other Ryan, Jules, had 27 apiece there. Good game to Over. I know Over doesn't love playing this map. Their lineup, I feel like once they figure out what they want to do exactly with their lineup, map to map, because they have the kind of players that they can definitely swap in and out classes and who's in and everything, just map to map, and have very scary lineups on every single one. They have a lot of fucking good players on this team. You didn't see SC in there. You didn't see James in there. Depending on who Over has available for any given week and what classes they play on each map, they can beat anybody, without question in my mind. That's another team that I am keeping a close eye on going forward this season, because I think with the right lineup, they are a really fucking good team. It's just a matter of who's available for them week in and week out, and then how the classes shake out, obviously. Lots of versatility, but certainly there are, like, for, not all of them, but for some of them, like, there's a class that is clearly their best class, where you, like, if at all possible, you want them on that class. So, and then for us, Railroad 2, it's a map that we've always kind of liked. We actually scrimmed a couple times this week, too, which helps. And having Ryan there, 35 kills. As I said earlier, having your heavies in apartments putting up good numbers like that on Allied side in particular makes it really tough to beat. So yeah, we'll see what happens now. That puts us to 1-1, and it puts over to 1-1. Where's the next one here? Okay, yes, there it is. I did get to cast this game. So Clinic versus Gray Hair Mafia, 231 to 216. Clinic gets the W, which again means two more teams at 1-1. This was a fucking nutty game here. Lots of fun stuff. So, first half, 169 to 85 for Gray Hair Mafia on their allied side. Who did what here? So, Sean with 39, Pibian with 32. Pibian, whenever I cast Pibian games, man, he has some kind of fucking crazy movie streak. On allies, he did this time, I believe it was 8 or 9 kills in total. I didn't see each kill happen live. I went back and watched the HLTV to see exactly what he did. Just nuts, man. The guy is insane. Money B Jr., I'll say it time and time again. Only, like, with the way the skill curve in this game has worked, I would say that Pibian, as good as he is right now, like, he doesn't deserve that junior title. Like, he is very, very, very good and can hang with absolutely anybody and probably beat most of them, sniper versus sniper. He is just very explosive with that sniper rifle. His pistol is very reliable. He understands, like, where and when to no-scope. Just very impressive sniper all around. So he had 32. That clip on allies, man. That might be a mutiny clip. If he wants to submit it, he should. Jesse had 29. Kellen had 29. Cody had 24, and then Tony and Train had 22. And then on the Clinic side of things, this was a fucking crazy one here. Candyman Sam put up a 40 bomb with the Stas going Train. I don't think I can recall, and as the person who generally remembers way too much about historical DOD, I don't know that I can recall like an invite level match where an Axicide straight up train player, not a situation where it's like, well, I car four-way and so I go train a lot or anything like that. A straight up Stas going train getting 40 kills is unheard of. Really fucking crazy. 40 kills for Sam there. He was the MVP of this game when all was said and done. Insam with a good car half at 28. Carp, of course, 26 on the sniper. Tom had a really, really important game too, heavying. He had 24 on Axis. Vic, 19, 17 on Suave. And then onto their allied side. They win 146 to 47. This game came right down to the fucking wire. It looked like Gray Hair Mafia was going to end up pulling it off in the end, but Clinic held on for dear life. They are just such a fun team to watch, and this is what can happen, like, they've got all players that can go off any given map, any given week, any given class. If they can beat Thunder on Anzio under any circumstances, then they can beat anyone on any map. Maybe save NSA on Harrington because NSA on Harrington is fucking insane. But yeah, like, this is just a perfect example of it, So for Gray Hair Mafia, Riv had 34. Pibian, again, 34 and 27 on Axis side, just so good. 27 on Jesse, 25 on Sean, 21 on Tony, who had a lot of important plays. He almost single-handedly actually won the game for Gray Hair Mafia with the train push at one point. I think he ended up getting 5 or 6 kills running out of train, just going nuts. They weren't able to end up getting mid. I think Carpenter might have been up in Loft and Ninja broke it. But yeah, Tony did everything he could on that Axis side to bring it back. And then 17 on Cody. Riv as well. Both halves, Riv, looked great, but in particular when they had their backs against the wall. In this half, Riv was just fucking picking up every gun he could find and getting 3 or 4 kills at a time with it, or more. It really did look like they were going to pull off a comeback reminiscent of that game against 3H on Anzio last season. But Clinic holds on. So, as we can see on their allied side, 38 on Carp. Just a fucking bomb-ass allied sniper half. Looked so good. 35 on Tom, as I alluded to earlier. It was like all of his kills were very, very important kills too, Like the 35, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It was where he was getting his kills both halves. He had a lot of important kills on Axis side in apartments. Like very, very, like kills where if he doesn't get that kill, then things go very, very bad in the other direction. Him and Vic as a heavy team, like I like the way that they play off of each other. Tom's not even a natural heavy, but he has come along sort of by necessity because he's continuously had to heavy, which I know he just loves. He is not a natural heavy, but he has shown that he is more than capable of playing any class at a top of the game level. 35 with the bar there. Huge performance. Sam with 34 on his allied side to 74 kills for a straight-up train player. Find me anyone else doing that, please. Find me it in a fucking scrim, even. I can tell you, as somebody who goes train on allied side when I'm rifling most of the time, even in games where it's like I feel like I'm dominating in train car, it is very rare that I ever sniff 40 going train car, even when I feel dominant. So, what a game for Sam there. Again, like I said, you could probably call that the performance of the week overall. And a very close win here for Clinic. Him getting 74 kills in train was certainly a huge part of that. 28 on Insam, 27 on Suave, 23 on Vic. With Clinic, they get their kills when they need them most. Like, all of them are so, so good when they're in dicey situations. When the games are close, I feel like is when Clinic is at their absolute best. They just always find a way. They are such the definition of a team. They've been playing together since day one. It shows in the things that they do, the decisions that they make, the way all their route partners play off of each other. They're all such good players and players who can, like, any of them can top frag any week. You really can't predict it with any regularity at all. And yeah, they are just so fun to watch all around. I love casting Clinic games. They know it. Everyone knows it. Big win for them here, which continued that train of what we'll find out is the case after the last gold recap. But yeah, what a game by Clinic. Tough loss for Gray Hair Mafia in a close game like that. They'll be fine, though. That was one of those games where, like, you draw a hot hand, man. Like, sometimes somebody or multiple players on the other team are just on fucking fire, and what are you going to do about it? I don't feel like any worse about Gray Hair Mafia. This does not lower their stock at all. They are a ridiculously stacked team, and I love the makeup of that team. I think the more that they can play together, even if it's not all 6 of them scrimming, and I know they do scrim, even if it's just like 3 or 4 of them, that's important. It matters. Every little bit that you can build up as a team together adds up when it comes to match time, and can make the difference in games like this. So that team, as a team that I could easily see being like a dark horse to end up making a push to the finals in gold. They are you look at those names, that is a scary fucking team. Maybe, like, you didn't know Pibian before, but I've been trying to tell you guys for the last 2 seasons that this guy is ridiculous. If you need proof of that, just go watch any cast that involved him. Like, this team is going to be a lot to deal with for everybody. And then on to the final game in gold, the one that I just casted the other day. Bandits versus Chilled and Skilled, 218 to 115. This was first half. Okay. So, Axis side for Bandits first half. They win 85 to 72. The kill totals are within 3 of each other there. Very, very close game at this point. On the Chilled and Skilled side of things, you had 33 on Ben. He had a great game all around. 29 on William, same thing. William and Chi in Apartments. Chi had 31 as well, to second top frag on Chilled and Skilled. Chi and William in Apartments, just so good. They had a great allied side. They forced Bandits to have to get a little bit inventive at times, just to try to get get more map control in apartments, because William and Chi were not about to just like run out and give you a free kill, which sometimes you need that when the heavies on allies are just hitting everything. Like, you need someone to slip up and make a mistake, and Chi and Sick together did not make many mistakes, which I kind of figured would happen. We played them in a scrim right before this game, and Chi and Sick played really, really well in that scrim as well. 26 on Justin. I mean, PB is just one of the most ridiculous players in the game. Doesn't, like, regardless if he has 40 kills or 26 kills, you gotta spectate him when you're casting these games, because he hits nothing but absurd shots. His mechanical abilities are pretty much second to none at this point. The guy is just nuts. I'm genuinely surprised anytime he doesn't like get 3 kills at a time, because usually it's probably DOD fucking you over there. Like, I know how that goes too. There's a lot of times where it just feels like PB probably should have had 4 kills, but he shot through 2 guys with his Garand, you know? Mechanically, he's a god. And then 15 on Ben, 14 on Raven going train. On the Bandit side of things, Taylor with a huge half on the STG there, 34. Doing the Lord's work with an STG on Axis side of Railroad 2, just putting up multi-kills everywhere. Historically has been a really, really good Railroad 2 player under any and all circumstances. Continued to show that here with 34 kills on Axis, making things as tough as humanly possible on Chilled and Skilled on the apartments and long side of the map. Bandits did a really nice job of just kind of keeping Chilled and Skilled off balance. Taylor going blue room, Taylor going apartments, Milo going blue room, Milo going apartments, 3 guys in apartments. You don't know what to expect, you know? Like, you can't really get a rhythm about you when you're the blue room player on allies like Ben, and you're thinking like, okay, Taylor's going long. So you see Taylor die. All right, I can push out long. No, wait, now Milo is waiting right outside of blue. I guess Taylor died in apartments. Okay. Oh, okay, Milo's dead now, and Taylor. Oh, wait, never mind. Gall is there now in Underpass, you know? Like, Bandits did a great job of rotating around the map and keeping Chilled and Skilled off balance and not able to rely so much on just sniping off the death notice. Like, oh, my route opponent died, I'm pushing. And then you walk into what is a revolving door of players who are kind of double teaming that long route. Very, very cool tactics by Bandits there. 28 kills on Andrew. Him and Taylor were the co-MVPs of this game. Taylor out-fragged him, and Andrew had kind of like a very, very important break. Taylor out-fragged Andrew by 1, but he had a break where the amount of time that was left, Chilled and Skilled was about to cap out. If they cap out there, I think they would have been down by like 12 points or something with like 6 minutes left. So it would have been a very, very up-in-the-air result at that point, if not for Andrew getting 3 kills to break mid after Raven had just gone on a crazy fucking 5-kill streak, pushing out of train as an Axis player. Just crazy. I only wish the HLTV hadn't been glitchy during that call, because it looked like he one-luged the guy. You know how HLTVs go in this game. He did not, in fact, one-lug him, so for casting purposes, that's unfortunate, but my god, what a clip. He got car, pistol headshot, car, running car, flick headshot, picks up the sniper, gets 1 more on it, just trying to defend connector while his teammates cap mid. Gall runs up white, gets 2 Garands and a nade kill, wipes them all off the face of the earth, and that kind of sealed the deal for Bandits. But yeah, so 28 on Andrew, 24 apiece for CK and Element. Element sniping, looked like a fucking natural sniper, you know, another guy who can play any class and be a difference maker on any class, no matter what the map is. 21 on Milo, and then 20 on Colin, as basically the train player. Colin is very good at understanding when to actually be going straight up train and when to just say, fuck it, like, there's a guy waiting on an obscene angle out there. Why am I going to go give myself up and then have to try to find him at my 1? I'm going up 4-way. I can throw an extra nade into loft. I can get up into ticket. I can cause problems through there and then let my 4-way car know, like, hey, train is open. Be on the lookout if you hear anything, etc. So, good teamwork by the 2 grand naders of DOD there in Colin and CK as the 4-way and train player. That's one of those things where just as important as your train player's individual performance is actually what your 4-way car is doing, too. Because, like, you're going to die sometimes. And if the 4-way car or somebody doesn't go back up train, you're probably going to end up getting capped on. Like if that train player is able to just freely walk about and you have no idea whether he pushed train or not, if you don't know even that he did or didn't push train, then you got to go look and check ninjas. And in that time, that's an extra player or two that isn't there watching mid or going for mid. It can cause serious problems. So if you're a four-way player, you want to know a way you can get better. If you aren't consistently playing like off of your train player, deciding together like, hey, let's both push four-way. Hey, let's double push train. I died here. Can you cover this? I died here. Can you cover this? That's a good way to do it. So second half here, it ends up 133-43, so a 90-point win for Bandits, but that score, again, is a little bit deceiving because Children Skilled, up until that big break by Andrew, they were this close to breaking through and making this thing like, 10-point game, with plenty of time left to take over that lead. For Children Skilled, William got the car bar, 28 kills there with the car, 27 apiece for Ben and other Ben, both Bens, Hildy and Insane. Hildy with a great sniper game, 60 kills overall, great Axis half, 27 and 21. Justin with 25 on the car, and then Chi with 19 and Raven with 18, but 5 of those were very explosive kills. As you can see, only a 5k difference here in the kill total overall as well, so very close game all around. And on the Bandit side of things, for their allied half, 27 for Andrew, 27 for Milo, 26 for Colin, 24 for CK, 23 for Ellie, 22 for Taylor. In the end, Bandits does prevail here. Certainly, it's unfortunate for Children Skilled. They haven't had Leo. And hopefully Leo's doing okay. I know he hasn't really been around too much lately. But yeah, hopefully Leo is starting to feel better, and we'll be able to see him going out and dominating some noobs, because the cats just aren't the same when I get to yell about Leo going on a 6-kill streak, So hopefully Leo is all right. DOD community misses him, as does Children Skilled in that lineup. That adds a whole fucking new wrinkle to that team. You can't say like they definitely win if Leo plays, but my God, he is the kind of player, especially on Railroad 2 and on Allied side of Railroad 2, that can really fuck shit up. I would have loved to have seen this game where Leo was in that lineup, so be interesting to see how that goes going forward for Children Skilled. But Children Skilled, they open the season beating Thunder. They lose now, they're 1-1. Bandits open the season losing to Grey Hair Mafia. Now they win, they're 1-1. Everybody is 1-1 in gold right now. There is 3 2-0 teams in silver. That alone is a low number from how I recall it going in years past. So it's a very interesting season here across both divisions. Let me just get that closed. Wide open. Certainly, I think a lot of it will come down to activity level in either division, to be honest with you. Like, teams that play even once a week, that adds up a lot. Because there are, I'd say, probably like 60 to 75% of the teams that play right now, they don't scrim. Or they scrim very irregularly, like every once in a great while. And it shows, like little things, little mistakes that you don't make when you're playing a little bit regularly. The teams that don't play will make them. And it's on any player. It doesn't matter how good, how big a name you are. Like, it's just without those reps, it's not quite as second nature. You might misthrow a nade a little bit. You might flick a little too hard on a shot. You might go for a play that would otherwise, you would be like, this is stupid for me to do, but you just don't have those reps to notice that in time. That's going to be, I think, the difference maker in both divisions when all is said and done, is which teams are getting some practice in. You don't necessarily have to fucking scrim 5 days a week like, Season 2 Thunder, but getting one scrim in a week, I think, at minimum, goes a lot longer away than people might realize. Because, you can go, pub or 12-man or whatever, and you'll keep your mechanics on point, but 12-mans are not really a good recreation of what an actual, two-team competitive game looks like at all. Unless you got, a 12-man where everybody's really committed to playing it like it's a match. It's It's one of those things, man. Like, it really does make a difference. Staying sharp is great. Like, if you can 12-man regularly, do. But from a team play standpoint, competition-wise, whether it's silver or gold, the most important thing for teams when it comes down to the end of the season in the playoffs and best of threes, it's getting some playing time together to understand both how your teammates play and where you fit in, what your role is on each map, on each route, figuring out things that might work or might not work. Like, I would have loved to have scrimmed with Thunder leading up to Week 1's Harrington match, to knowing that we weren't going to have Tox and Ryan, so we could have either had me practice carring Mountain more because I've suck at it, and because of that I've never tried to do it in a match, or to have had the time to go like, hey, this is not working as well, like, let's switch, figure something else out, These little things add up a lot in the grand scheme of things in this goddamn game. Okay, so swapping on to the Preds. How long is this? Oh my god, it's already an hour and 5 minutes. What have I done? Oh, every time, Corey. Okay, KTP Season 5. There we go. I need to try to keep this under like another 40 minutes, I'd say, optimally. My dinner could be here any minute now, too. Who fucking knows? All right, so popping this bad boy open. Let's have a looky in Silva. Okay, obviously still have this 3H Late Arrivals game to be played. No clue what's going on, when it'll be done. This week we've got Thunder 2B4, everybody's favorite deathmatch map. No-Go versus Los Wick, HRG versus 3H, M1 versus Spicy, Saab versus Goose, Late Arrivals versus R11. That's a tough one for the match of the week. I'm thinking Saab versus Goose here. I haven't got to watch M1 play yet, though. I'd really like to get a chance to cast them this week, if at all possible. And I haven't got to cast No-Go either. It would have been perfect to get to cast them playing each other. When do they play each other? Have they already played each other? They did. Fuck. Week 1 would have been perfect for that. I also haven't got to do HRG. And they already played each other, I think, too, right? M1. No, Los Wick. Where's HRG versus M1? Damn, that's really far away in Week 6. Okay. Anyways. For the time being, I think Saab versus Goose is like the match of the week. But like, I'm going to cast as many fucking games as I can, obviously. So, let's see here. Let's start off from the top. No-Go versus Los Wick. On the no-go side of things, you don't know exactly what lineup they'll throw out there. You figure based on weeks past, War Within will be sniping, Stark and Spoon on the heavies, and then like Dedro, Matthew, Trance, maybe Anna, maybe Tony gets in there, maybe Koi, he played in week 1. Some combination of those guys. I'm assuming it'll be like Matthew, Trance, and Anna. That's my guess. Oh, wait, sorry. Matthew, Trance, and Dedro, or Matthew, Dedro, and Anna, or I guess Trance, Anna, and Matthew, or Dedro. I don't know. I'm confusing myself now. And then on the Los Wick side of things, where are you boys? There you are. Okay, so generally speaking, they have had Jiraiya and Jiraiya Jr. both play, Poco and Manga, Ryan, and then Empy got in last week. Which I assume MP will continue to play. Looked like he had a good game coming right back in. But again, that's another lineup that kind of seems to fluctuate a little bit on who's playing and what they're doing exactly. Little bit more of an unknown quantity on how Los Wick will play on Thunder. I've watched No-Go in different iterations of this team play Thunder so goddamn many times now. Generally speaking, they are pretty good at it. No-Go looks poised to try to make a run for a ring this season. Coach Tony Compton is going to want that real bad, whether he's playing or not. And I assume that they will be fully prepared for this game. I think MP adds a nice new layer to Los Wick. I think that Los Wick is still just, they're just kind of continuing to progress as a team. But they have a lot of raw talent that they have to work off of right from the start. So they're a team who I think the time is going to come where all of a sudden teams are going to have way more issue with beating them. You know, it's going to be one of those things where it just kind of clicks for them at a certain point, and all of a sudden they're like scaring everybody. Right now, I don't think that is this point. Certainly Thunder, and that's kind of like the disclaimer here, I think, for all matches. Thunder is a weird upset map. Anything can happen. You can control mid for like the entire game and then give up a random ninja cap after losing mid for 2 seconds and lose the game that way. It's a very, very upset potential map. So certainly, if Loswick can find a way to come up with some sort of a scheme here for how they're going to proceed against No-Go, which is like a cap-out heavy, like damage control into cap-out, damage control into ninja, whatever they can come up with. That's the way that they can have an avenue to win, but I think No-Go will be prepared for that, no matter who's playing. You got to take No-Go here. They just look really good. They have a lot of different lineup iterations that are going to be a lot for anyone to deal with in Silver, and they haven't even used their like 4-season long gold player in Tony Compton yet. So you know we probably haven't even seen their like AA team just yet. I'm gonna take No-Go. I'm gonna take them by. You know, I need to check like screenshots and see what scores generally looked like on Thunder in the past. Let me see here. Thunder, where are you? Okay, so that's about 80. That's about 80. That's NSA laying the smackdown. That was about 60. That's about 30. Okay. I'm going to say that... Oh, that was a close game. Wow. Jeez. Really close one there. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Got sidetracked. I'm going to go with No-Go by 74. But again, you know, don't quote me on this shit this week. Thunder is too random. Anything can happen. I remember losing, Donner, Thunder, whatever you want to call it. I remember losing a Donner game against 3H once upon a time where I think they had like one player from their actual roster. It was just like 5 random ringers pugging it and getting a ninja cap out of nowhere to win the game. Like, so random. The map is very random. Okay, moving on. HRG versus 3H. Alright, so for HRG, obviously, Illusion and Aim Tech starting right off. Then Nick had like a hole. G, Pipes, Arg. I'm not sure how much Dullamus has got to play. I'm not sure how much Mike has got to play. Gandhi. Certainly in a world where like Dullamus and Gandhi were able to be active with this team, they could, that could be a big answer for their lineup and what we were talking about earlier, just kind of needing more contribution on the support side of things, because Illusion and Aim Tech are dropping bombs day in and day out. So yeah, not sure exactly what the lineup will be, who is active for them right now. I know I see Dullamus every once in a while get in scrims, but I'm not sure if that's just kind of, if I haven't seen him play in a match yet, I don't think so. And on the 3H side of things, another team where it's kind of 50-50 on who's going to show up any given week. In a best case scenario, I know it's like Warchild, Austin, Defrag, Piff, Modgers, and Steve, the Bear, Ian. I don't think Matt... I don't know, because Matt did play last weekend, so maybe Matt is back to being around. I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure Jane will tell me. Any minute, we'll find out. But, yeah. Tough to say who will show up for them. They certainly have a nice revolving door of players that can jump in and play on any class. Ian, I think, is a really underrated one who can hop on the sniper rifle. Got a new computer, no longer running on a laptop through speakers, which helps a lot. Steve can jump on a sniper. Cam can snipe or rifle. Defrag can rifle or heavy. He could probably fucking snipe too, to be honest. Piff and Modgers, when they're playing, is one of the best heavy duos in Silver. And Johnny can play anything as well. So, going to be interesting to see who shows up for them. In this case, so a map like Thunder, having players like Illusion and Aim Tech, I think, can be even more of a difference maker because it's one of these centralized double cap maps at a very long range as well. you know, you can have a sniper that just dominates mid so hard, there's nothing you can do about it. And if anyone's going to do it, it is most certainly Aim Tech. He has been ridiculous week in and week out. You know, I'm sure in a perfect world you would have him like on a rifle so he could be more mobile and have grenades, but yeah, you know, do they really need that? Like they've got a couple of other guys who can rifle, certainly, like between R and Mike and Dullamus, and Nick, like all these guys can rifle. So having Max on the sniper rifle, when things start to click for this team, I think will pay dividends, in particular on maps like Thunder. You know, with Illusion, being able to get up into Susie on Axis side, get pushed tree on Allied side, just cause hell in that area at range. They're going to have to figure out how to deal with the bunker side of things, certainly. There's a lot of avenues that you can take to playing bunker on Donner and Thunder. It's just a matter of deciding which one you want to do. However, still got to go with 3H in this case. One of the cruxes here being who does 3H have show up? You know, if they're missing like a bunch of people and are like using ringers and stuff, that is dicey. Those are the situations where you get upset, where Aim Tech and Illusion go off on you and you end up losing the game. So hopefully 3H will have most of their starters this week. Only time will tell. If they do, then you got to take 3H by, I'd say, like 30. But if they're missing, you know, Johnny and Austin and someone else again, then this might be a real nice opening for HRG to pull one out here on the back of their two leading fraggers, Illusion and Aim Tech. I'm going to assume the best for 3H for the time being. I have no idea. I don't have any inside information yet. I'm sure I will by the time the DODCAST is over. But for now, I'm going with 3H by about 30, 25, 30. I think Illusion and Aim Tech, just how good they are, will be able to keep a Thunder game close. And then, you know, like I said, you just need to see some secondary support play coming from the rest of the guys on that team. You know, in a perfect world, you'd have a third guy that's putting up like 50 to 60 total kills, and then having those three other players just really understanding the role that they have on their route and like the best times to rotate and using their nades in a consistent and impactful manner. You know, you don't want to just chuck your nades away, especially on a map like Thunder, because there's a lot of funky nades you can throw to break that mid cap, and that can be the difference between winning and losing when all is said and done. So, I'm going with 3H in a relatively close game, but again, big asterisk depending on how things work out across the board there. All right, on to the next one. We've got M1 and Spicy. Let me see here. So for M1, I think, again, like they have a couple extra players, but generally speaking, you got Alapex, you got Dustin, Quarter, Red Dog, Meep, and Pizza Hut. Those seem to be the main six for M1. And then Spicy, as consistent a lineup as there's been in DOD, period. Kevin, Laura, Ryan, Jared, Matt, Luke, and then every once in a while when someone's missing, Lynx pops in there, drops 50 to 60 kills, calls it a day. You know, Spicy been one of the big dogs in DOD basically for all of KTP at this point. 3 straight finals appearances. They're a tough team to pick against ever. The nice thing for M1 here, I think that their strengths do play well on a map like Thunder. That can make this doable for them, certainly. Again, I think it's one of those things where you gotta kind of find the right strategy for bunker and how you want to deal with that. Do you even want to try to push in? Do you want to just try to control it from afar? Just keep eyes on it. Having your nades good to go, like understanding the stupid nades off the roofs and stuff and how to break mids, very important for M1 going into this week. But Dustin on the sniper rifle, again, is the great equalizer here. Like, whoever snipes for Spicy, Dustin will put up a good game against them. You got to take Spicy, I'd say, by like 50 to 60 at this point. But for M1, you know, like, just being able to put up a competitive game against Spicy right now as this new of a team, I don't know how much they even scrim. But that would be a really big victory, I would say, going forward. Because Spicy, man, they are tough. I can only imagine what it's going to look like on Donner with their lineup. Donner on Thunder. It seems like, I think, permanently, Kevin is heavying and Jared is sniping. I don't know that for sure, but they've done it for the first 2 weeks, so maybe going out to prove like it doesn't even matter what configuration of their lineup they have, they're still going to make it to the finals one way or another and be one of the teams to beat. But you got to go with Spicy here. But I think M1 can put up a good fight here on the back of Dustin and Red Dog and Alapex and Quarter. Like Meep as well, just continuing to get more and more experience. I fully expect there to be a day in the not so distant future where Meep is dropping serious bombs all over the place because mechanically he is very, very good. So just a matter of him getting the hours, getting the reps, and everything. On to the next one. Saab versus Goose. I would say that again that I think this is the match of the week. Where are the teams? There we go. So for Goose, again, I'm not sure what the situation is with Brino. For all I know, he could have left already to go to Australia, and he's not going to play this week. I actually don't know. Last time I talked to him was I think late last week or middle of last week. But assuming that he's playing, you got him and Bromley and Nicholson on the rifles, I'm assuming. And then DB on a sniper. Sorry, I got confused for a second because Nicholson was sniping because Ryan hasn't been there. But I'm assuming Brino, Nicholson, and Adam on the rifles, Ryan on a sniper, and then that Crawd and Hopper heavy team that's been so good together. And then on the other side of things for Saab, you got... Well, you can't say for sure who will do what because you might see Nightmare snipe, you might see Yanni snipe, you might see Toki snipe, but just off the top of my head, you're looking at Scotty on a rifle, you're looking at Kingyo on a third, Manor on a heavy, and then from there, Nightmare, Toki, Caleb, JN, Baron is on the lineup now too, which I think is a great, great pickup for them. A guy, again, who can play any class. That is a great pickup. I look forward to seeing Baron back at action again, playing with these guys. I think that is a really, really good move for them. Again, not positive on the classes and how that shakes out, but obviously a tough draw for anything, for any team getting Brino on any map. This is a map where I think, similar to Harrington, PDX can have a huge impact on due to the centralized double cap and the ability to nade it from just about anywhere and how consistently he fucking nails his nades. He does not miss his nades. It's very, very rare that he throws a nade that doesn't, at least rip someone's fucking HP down to something that will kill them in one hit with any weapon. If PDX isn't playing, you're going to need that nade impact to be made up for by at least 50% by somebody. Goose Patrol, I fully expect to be able to do that for sure. You still have all the knowledge and experience of Brino on your side, and he's been giving them that knowledge since Season 3 as far as I can remember, which paid dividends for them in that season as well. Sniper matchup-wise, DB, great fucking sniper. Great sniper. Really fun to watch on this map, especially because one of his big strengths is his flicks, how consistent he's able to hit his flicks, and you need that on Thunder. There's just so many fucking potential peaks coming at you no matter where you are, especially on Axis side. Donner used to be severely Axis sniper sided. Now, not so much. It's tough to even get into Loft on Axis, to be honest. And if your team doesn't have mids, you will pretty much never get into Loft. And even when you do have mid, very, very important thing. You need a rifle to either get into Lower Church themselves so that you have eyes on it and know when as a sniper when you have to look at tower or lower, or if you can't get all the way to church, get into Susie and be listening and calling for your sniper. Just a PSA for snipers everywhere. On Axis side of Thunder, somebody needs to get pushed up mid when you have mid, or even if you can do it before that point if your sniper gets into Loft, and let you know when you hear footsteps going into church. Because you can hear that shit. No one's crouch walking from graveyard up to tower. They're running. If you can get pushed up and prevent them from doing that so your sniper can just pay attention to back of mid and rubble or get pushed up into Susie or mid house, massive. But even if you can't get into church, if you can just get close to it and listen for footsteps and make the call, doesn't have to be exact, just there's a guy coming church. Then the sniper can reposition himself so you're not as overexposed to everything, because you are exposed to everything in that loft, and can focus the attention at least to having a shot at somebody peeking church tower. Very, very important thing for everybody on this map. Just take that advice and use it as you will. But I can tell you, as a sniper, the times that I'm successful on Axis side of Thunder is when I have somebody letting me know that there's a guy coming church. Because otherwise, you're like, you're in loft and you have to be looking left side at rubble, and then the whole left side of lower church, and then the church doorway, and then vertically up at the tower. And if you don't have bunker, you also have to be worrying about your bunker exit and mid alley. So you're just fucking snapping your crosshair around everywhere, trying to find a nice midpoint to be able to hit like a 90-degree flick in every direction. It is near impossible. Yeah, so that I think is going to be something that is important for both sides, either way, whether Brino's there or not, because Goose is a good team. They understand using that avenue of attack on their allied side, both snipers and Garans alike. I'd be interested to see, because last season in the playoffs, Nightmare did snipe on this map, and for good reason, because a sniper can dominate the piss out of Thunder. I would love to see a sniper matchup between Nightmare and DB. DB has historically been pretty good against Nightmare. Certainly not like he's fucking making Nightmare go negative or anything, but compared to what everyone else does in a sniper versus sniper matchup, Ryan has looked good against Nightmare. So it's not like, you're definitely going to get dominated by him. But yeah, Saab very good at understanding playing defense on mid and not over pushing just for the sake of like going to try to get the extra kill or two and then losing the cap. They have multiple players that will get into houses and make sure they are there to at least have a very good attempt at a mid break. Another very important thing, just being aware of those ninja break attempts. Like you can't just hop on mid unless you've accounted for all 6 players having died in the last 5 seconds. Even then, you don't know for sure. Someone could have got an instant respawn. Just awareness. I'm going to go with Goose here because they're undefeated. I think until this team loses, they're looking like the favorite in silver right now, with or without PDX, in all honesty. That is a very, very good team. And I think that even with Brino out of the lineup, they can put out multiple lineups that would be able to compete with anybody. But this is an upset map, and Saab has a guy who can just pick up a sniper rifle and go 80 and 20. Good luck topping that if it happens. They have a lot of guys that are very, very committed to doing what it takes to win in mid. As boring as it may be sometimes. I know it sucks, but somebody's got to do it. And even if Nightmare doesn't snipe, he's probably still going to get 70-plus kills on a rifle or on a heavy. Whatever he plays, he's going to be able to match up to PDX on that raw frag total. So I think this game comes down to 20 points or less. Like, it might literally come down to whoever gets mid last and is committed to holding it. Like, this could go either way. I'm going with Goose Patrol by a thin margin just because they have not lost yet and they look great. Their heavies look great. Their teamwork looks great. And they have the ultimate X factor in PDX on that team. Whether he plays or not, I take them by a thin margin. But certainly it makes it easier when you got the best player in DOD rocking out with his cock out, nading your asses off mid every time you go for it. Like, it just makes it easier. That is going to be a fun match. Hopefully I will get to cast that one because I would love to see that game. I assume it'll be an afternoon game too, which makes it a little bit easier. And then the final silver game, we got Late Arrivals versus the Big Dogs of Romario. Another 2-0 team here. So, for Late Arrivals, like I talked about in their last match, they were missing, realistically, their 2 best players. I'm going to assume they play this week, hopefully, for their sake. You got Bullet, you got Azilla, Nightmare, Secretly, Casino, and then, like, you could see Bo, you could see Insight, you could see Epion, you could see Giacomo, Crafty, anybody else in that spot is a solid 6 to slot in. And then, of course, on Romario, pretty consistent lineup we've seen out of them so far with Rafinha and LZL on the main rifles, BLK on a Stas, Matt on one heavy, Bud on the other heavy, and Mand having a great, like, last 5 seasons on the sniper rifle. Yeah, Mand has been about as consistent a sniper as there is in the game. So, okay. Obviously, you gotta go with Romario here. Because, again, they're undefeated. They've been one of the best teams in the division for season after season. I think if later rivals can field their best six, they can make it difficult. Azilla looked good on the sniper rifle, and I think that he can hang with Romario sniping. Certainly, Bill knows how to play a map like this and how to put his team in the best possible position to be able to win. And then having Secretly and Casino. You have those two guys on rifles in mid, dropping bombs. That's going to make it hard on Romario. In this situation, they have Bud. You could say arguably their best player. Like, is it Bud? Is it Rafinha? That's a debate that anybody can have for hours. But, like, do you stick him in bunker where he might just have to sit there a lot of the time? Do you maybe send like a third rifle over there to hold bunker and let Bud, Bar, and STG or Unter on mid? Tough to figure out when you got a heavy that's that good in a map like this where, bunker is kind of like an albatross. And, like, yeah, there's certainly ways to be impactful as a bunker player. They usually involve getting pushed out of bunker because there's no cap in bunker, Like, you can just get trapped in there. So that makes it very, very interesting. But, you got to go with Romario here. I do think that if they're expecting to just blow out later rivals and later rivals fields their best six, they will be in for a rough start. Because, like, when you got Guillermo and Secretly jumping in there on rifles, like, they will get their kills. They will wipe you out together over and over again. You got to be prepared for that eventuality. But Romario as a team is just so strong. As I said earlier, I think that Bud pickup was like the best possible, short of also getting PDX, of course. But like that Bud move, bringing in that heavy who is just a fucking rock solid, who understands how to play the game on both offensive and defensive sides of things. Experience just falling out of his ears, They're going to be a tough beat for anybody on any map, any day of the week. So you go with Romario, you say by about 80. Like, this is a map that's really tough to fucking full cap on. You control mid for the whole game. I think it ends up being about, 80 to 100 kill win. But it's very easy to get, like, triple naded and lose mid, Like, this is a very fluky map. And wouldn't it be some crazy shit to have later rivals come out there with their best six and pull off an upset win against Romario? Like, with the way the season has gone, it just feels like we're destined to have no undefeated teams when all is said and done. But, just realism, you got to go with Romario here by about 80 points. But I really look forward to seeing the day where later rivals gets to have their best six, because I think that they will have a lot to offer in those games. I like the mixture of play styles and experience and new players and everything. I think they could be a very interesting team going forward when they have their best lineup. All right, so on to the final segment of the day. The gold predictions. Start off with my own, because, I can't really predict my own game, but Thunder versus Gray Hair Mafia on a map like Thunder, it makes for interesting stuff. I don't quite have that bad feeling yet, because I'm still hoping we might scrim this week. But if we don't scrim this week, I'm going to have, an ulcer about this game, because it would just feel like another one of those games where we're setting ourselves up to get wrecked, So for Thunder, in a best case scenario, I do believe it'll be Toxinator and Dorito on the cars, J-Rod on the third, Jules and Ryan Emo on the heavies, and me on the sniper. For Gray Hair Mafia, they have 9 ridiculous players, but it looks like so far they've gone with Sean and Jesse on the cars, 9 as the third, Pibian on a sniper, and then a legendary heavy duo of Riv and Cody. Just River Oyster and ProStar. You can look back at any era of DOD and you'll see those guys in the top 10 heavies, period. They obviously also have guys like Booten and Corey and Hypnotic on the bench. If they're missing anybody, they're going to be just fine. Those are ridiculous players to be able to slot in any given week. This is, I think, comes down to, again, I've said this a million times in this, but, what does either team decide to do with bunker? You've got 4 really good heavies in this game. Are they going to be just locked up in bunker fighting over a flagless area and then taking a push into a massive choke point the whole game? Will either team come up with an idea of having one or both of their heavies going mid and trying to find another way around it? I could certainly see Gray Hair Mafia throwing a curveball to us with what they decide to do route-wise. And obviously, their rifles and Pibian on the sniper, that is very, very tough to deal with. That is the key. You can't let Sean and Jesse and Pibian run wild on you or you lose. And if we're not prepared for that, we will lose. This team is a very fucking talented team. And this map in particular, I like their mix of players on this map. Like, I think that this is a map that they will just naturally be very, very good on. Sean and Jesse are a lot to deal with on Thunder or Donner or whatever version of the map it is. And then Pibian, we've seen time and time again. Doesn't really matter the map, doesn't really matter the matchup. He's going to get his 60-plus kills, and he's going to get them in bunches. He will not just death by 1,000 cuts you. He will get 7 to 10 kills at a time, a couple times throughout a game. A couple other times he'll get like 4 fast kills. And on a map like Thunder, that can be the difference. You know, one guy going off for 4 kills in mid can be where the map turns around. So, good luck, have fun to Gray Hair Mafia. I fully, really do expect this game is going to be intense, which I'm already stressed out about. So, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully someone will cast it. Obviously, 9 can't do it this time, so we play Thursday. If anybody sees this and is interested in casting, please do. Thursday at 9 o'clock. And yeah, I think that'll be a fun match all around, honestly. It's a lot of frag power on the rifles there. Okay, so next up, this is a tough choice for the match of the week, too, because everybody's 1-1. It's not like there's, you know, 2 teams that are 2-0 and they look like fucking unstoppable. So, Clinic versus Bandits. Clinic, historically, been good at this map, let me tell you. Tom and Vic on the heavies, I would imagine, right? Like, generally speaking. And then Suave, Insam, and Sam on the rifles. Carpenter on the sniper. And then on the Bandit side of things, again, they have such a stacked fucking roster. It's absurd. But just basing it on what they play. Actually, I can't really base it on that because they have like 3 snipers that have played this. Oh, well, they've only played 2 matches, but like their main sniper actually has not played yet. Justin sniped in week 1, Alex sniped in week 2. You figure it'll be Taylor and Milo on a heavy unless one of them is missing. Guess what? If they are, you just slot in Kaboom, who's another top of the game heavy. He doesn't play anymore, but even still, like, just his natural ability without practicing is going to be superior to a large chunk of heavies out there. And even if you don't want to go that far, Justin can heavy and be just as good, you know? So, like, I don't know exactly. Probably, like, CK, Colin, and Andrew on rifles, or if one of them is out, you put in Justin or Alex. Probably Arachnid on a sniper. He's good at this map. And then Taylor and Milo, optimal heavy team right there. Under normal circumstances, you'd look at this matchup and be like, well, Bandit's definitely going to win because they're so stacked. But, man, Clinic on this map really is very good. I don't know what it is, if it's just the teamwork factor, if individually they all just kind of like playing on this map. Their nades are ridiculous. Last season, they almost knocked out Over on Thunder in the first round of the playoffs, which I don't think a whole lot of people saw coming. I certainly said it in the DODCAST. I believe I predicted them to win, and then that map came down to the absolute fucking wire. I think this game is going to be very close. I'll be interested to see how much of NSA's tactics that they pull on Thunder will be brought over via Milo and Taylor here. Because NSA on this map, man, was impossible to deal with. They were so fucking good at it. Obviously, part of that is like PDX and Leo and Nick. But certainly, like, if Bandits look to replicate that same style of play and the way that NSA used Bunker like as an offensive weapon, and just kind of like rammed it down your throat, man. NSA was relentless on this map, and Bandits I could see being able to replicate that play style and making it impossible to beat them on it. Going to be interesting to see what they choose to do on this map all around. Clinic just fundamentally great at this map. You got to go with bandits, right? But I say this is going to come down to less than 15 points. And if you get one extra big performance on Clinic here, that could be how it goes the other direction. The thing is with bandits too, like you got a guy who is very, very, very adept at playing mid house in Colin. And especially if he's on a third rifle with whatever lineup they put out there, it's kind of like the perfect role for him to be playing as a third rifle, and it plays to his strengths. He's very good at maneuvering around mid house. He's very good at getting lost, like to the point where like you think you know where he is, and then he's somewhere else. I think that is going to be like a major hook for them, and where they can secure a win here, just making it impossible for Clinic to ever really fully break through on mid. Taylor is very good at having this map and understanding how rotations are working, when the best time is to peek, the best route to take to get out in and support mid, and just getting up in your face at your second and first flags with the heavy. He is very good at that. And Milo is a god, so like even if you kill Taylor, guess what? Milo's coming out of bunker right behind him with the bar and killing 4 of you all by headshot. It's very, very tough to deal with. Clinic is a very smart team, and I think that they will be prepared for that. And I do expect this game to be close. Like very, very close. Like I said, 15 points or less, I'm thinking here for Bandits. And just a little bit of extra pizzazz from one more guy on Clinic this week, I think, can turn it in their favor here, Carpenter against Arachnid or Justin or Element is a very fun sniper matchup on Thunder. The rifle matchup is going to be great too. And then Tom and Vic up against Taylor and Milo. They're just going to have a game plan and play together, Even if you do it like CS and play for the trade, if you can keep the numbers relatively even on that side and not kind of lose track of the bunker players, that would at least make it harder on Bandits to really establish a forward position offensively and start to cut you down in numbers before they then swarm for a cap out. All of players that are very good at doing that, and whose aim is ridiculous. So just like the long range default running at each other in mid battles, very difficult to top the players on Bandits under any circumstances. But yeah. Again, 15 or less, I'm saying Bandits take Clinic here. This is a really good map for Clinic. That's another game I'd love to cast too. And then the final predictions to do here. Chilled versus Over. What do we got here? Oh, there's Over. So again, Over, man, they have a really, really nice roster. They have a lot of lineups that they can throw together and be scary as hell. Kumkum, Mata, Saka, Caffrey, James, Devin, 50, SC. What do you have for a lineup this week? Who's sniping? Like, I think you could have really any of their sniper players on a sniper rifle this week. You could see Mata. You could see Devin. You could see James. James is good at this map sniping. Obviously, Devin has been sniping and just being a god at it, and that might be the avenue to take here. Letting Devin try to control the game as a sniper, which he is very, very capable of. And then he can pick up other weapons and go push forward when he feels like it. Caffrey and, who's it going to be as the other heavy? Is SC going to play? Is Kumkum going to heavy? Is Mata going to heavy? Is James going to heavy? Is Devin going to heavy? I don't know. Lots of potential combinations for this team. And then on the chilled and skilled side, so again, like, not sure with Leo. It'd be awesome to see him come back and play now. But like Chi and William on the heavies, Justin on one of the cars guaranteed. Maybe Insane on the other car, or maybe Raven, or of course if Leia was there. And then Hildy on the sniper rifle. That's another very key player here this week on Thunder. Ben is very frustrating on this map. He just finds the timing on you, man. Like, you think you know where he is, you're staring at it, he's watching something else supporting his teammates, just when you think, like, alright, I guess I can push past this corner, and then Ben is finding the time to pounce on you on an off angle, and then he's killing 4 of you. Just like that. That's tough to deal with, man. It's very tough to deal with. So, like, again, I would love to see Leo get to play this week. It sucks not having him around. He's always one of the most fun players to watch, but not sure what to expect there. So I think this is another game that will end up very, very close. In all honesty, on the Children's Guild side, whoever they have rifling are very good aim players. We've seen paintball absolutely take over games on this map just with raw fucking skill. I expect that will happen again. I feel like I've never watched him play a Thunder map in a cast and not do that. So I think that right there is one notch for Children's Guild. On the over side of things, though, it's like, what's the lineup? You know, I think if they can put together the right combination of 6, they can win this game. They have more than enough skill between all those players on the team to beat anybody in gold. They just got to find the right lineup. Obviously, you want Caffrey heavy. Boom, right there. Done deal. You would probably prefer to not have to have Kum Kum heavy. Like, he's a good heavy, but he's a great rifle. Same with Sokka. After that, it's kind of like, what do? You know, Travis, he can car or he can Stas. Devin can play anything. James can play anything. Mata can play anything. If SC is playing, you probably want him on the other heavy. Very curious to see what the lineup looks like for over on this map. I think once they find the lineup that clicks for them in a match, that's when, from then on, they become one of the big teams to beat for the rest of the season. Assuming activity level works out, where like they actually have the same 6 guys able to play each match. Man, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Children's Guild, just because I don't know what over's lineup going to be. I don't know who's available. Like, it's very possible that, like, Caffrey can't play this week. It's very possible that Devin can't play this week. You just don't know. Lots of question marks when it comes to what their starting lineup is. I think if Children's Guild has Leo playing in particular, that really, like, makes it tough for them to lose. He's great at this map, especially on his allied side. But, like, man, there are lineups I can see with over where they can win this game, 100%. It's going to be a matter of not letting PB drop 90 kills on you, first of all, because you're not going to be able to overcome that. Easier said than done. You just got to hope Justin's having a bad game, basically. That's what you can hope for there. And then you're going to need the sniper to be able to deal with Hildy. And after that, you know, the bunker battle. Like, I could see over sending Caffrey out into mid with an Unter. He's very, very good at doing that. It's not for everybody, but Caffrey is quite good at doing it. So I think that's one little curveball they can throw in that can help them establish mid control and not give it up. And then, yeah, just it comes down to who the 6 are here for over. I think with the right 6, like, you can take them to win this game, like, in a gamble and feel pretty confident in it. Without it, you got to go with Children's Guild, but, you know, again, another game I would really like to cast. I'd like to see who over sends out there and what classes they're playing, what routes they're going, and then see how they match up with Children's Guild if they can put their best 6 out there. Because I have very, very high hopes for over with the guys that they have on the roster and, like, where they can all end up going in a lineup together. I just, you know, like, I just want to see it happen. It's this close. Like, over is this close to getting over that hump and just shitting on everybody. You know, just got to put that lineup together one way or another where everybody is in a comfortable route, on a comfortable weapon, and able to really excel at their game together. And yeah, like, I don't think they're far off from that. Just a matter of having everybody available on match day and figuring it out together, map to map. So I'm going Children's Guild. I'm taking them, I'm going to say by 9 points right now. Just assuming what I just did about the lineups. But, you know, could go a number of different ways here. So, on hour 48, man, I went a little too far, but that does do it for this here DODCAST. Once again, reminder, War Within, Frag of the Week, week in and week out. Thank you for doing that for the community. First of all, everyone please submit, and Warman, if they don't submit, just fucking hunt them down. That's what I did when I made Frag of the Weeks. I constantly had like 5 people submit. So what I did was I went around to all the players I saw who got a lot of kills, and then all the players that are like marquee names, and if they didn't want to time their demos, I'd be like, just give me your demos. I'll find a clip for you in there. Sometimes you just gotta hunt people down for the frag of the week, so just keep that in mind. Again, mutiny reminder as well. Don't forget to submit shit to Steve if you got some craziness. I'm not sure where the submissions are at right now, but there's certainly marquee name players that need to submit still out there, and it can't be a mutiny without those guys in it. So keep them coming, please, because one more mutiny is the least that can be done for this game in 2024. Thank you guys for watching KTP. Let me know your match times. I want to cast them all. And Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, is Thunder versus Grey Hair Mafia. Somebody cast that shit, please. That will be all. I'm going to go eat dinner now. My voice is shot. I can't believe I extended this thing to 2 fucking hours. I never shut up. Unbelievable. Good luck this week, everyone. Mwah. Peace out.